how's it going? Today we're going to be doing a new install of an RV vent fan. We're going to be cutting a new hole. It's not replacing an old one like a lot of the videos that you see. However, I would like to warn you that this will most likely void your warranty. Plan on it voiding your warranty and or causing you a headache in the future with possible leaks and other issues if you don't do it correctly. That being said, the liability lands on you if you decide to cut into your own RV wiring, the structure and the roof, all of that. I'll show you kind of how and what I looked for in doing the install, but it's going to be up to you to make sure that each individual RV is a little bit different. This one here is a 26 dBH. It's a Cherokee Gray Wolf made by Forest River. It's a Black Label edition. We'll be installing a push-pull RV vent by RV Low Vent. Comes with a remote, rain sensing, and just a 12-volt connection. Pretty easy install, but finding a spot to install it is going to be your biggest issue. So these are some of the components that come with this RV vent fan. You get a changeable screen. It comes with one pre-installed, so you can swap it out. It comes with the remote. It comes with mounting screws, a spare fuse, your instruction manual with, frankly, terrible instructions for install. But you can decide on that. It doesn't give you any instructions on installing a new install. It's all if you're just pulling out an old and reinstalling. Comes with your garnish trim. They call it garnish. Your trim ring for inside the RV, your vent fan. So the things you will need to get are going to be butyl tape for mounting this down to the roof, as well as your self-leveling RV sealant, and I'll show you that here in a little bit. You'll also need all the tools to get through your roof. So we're going to need things like handsaw, possibly reciprocating saw if you got one, depending on what you want to use for your drill to drill through the roof. I'll show you what I've done, what makes most sense for me, and then you'll need a razor knife as well as a caulk gun to apply the sealant, and you're going to need either a screwdriver or a screw gun so that you can get everything attached and installed. You'll also need some good crimps so that you can crimp the old wires in your RV to the new wires for the vent fan. In our RV, the only place they install the vent fan is in the bathroom, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense because in the bedroom, when you close the doors, there is zero airflow, especially during hot months. There's only one AC vent, and it doesn't do well enough if we're boondocking. There's just no way to get any airflow. We want to install a vent fan in our bedroom. The only place we can, though, is about right here. We've got solar over here. We've got a power antenna up here for our cable. There's a couple things that I'll show you up on the roof that we're going to have to deal with. You could possibly use a stud finder, but it wouldn't work with this RV. I couldn't figure it out. I had to remove this AC vent cover, and it was improperly installed to begin with. I'm going to adjust it. The styrofoam for the vent fan doesn't even land. It's like halfway covering, so you only get like half flow. The rest of it goes into the ceiling. Thank you, Forest River. You see both the roof supports running across. I measured the distance between. I do have room for this vent fan. One of them lands right about above this door support right here, this rail, and the other one runs right about here. So what I'll be doing is taking and marking 4 corners for my little vent fan. And then we'll be drilling straight up through into the roof. We'll go up top, make sure that we have clearance. Based off of where my window is, I want to make sure that I'm not too close to my antenna up there. But we'll drill up through with our 4 corners, and then we'll cut across so that we're not cutting any wires. So when you get up on top of the roof, the first thing you want to do is double check that you're not going to hit anything. Like I said, I've got some solar panels, got this antenna. So inside the RV, I measured from the edge of one of my windows back to see how far I had or how much room I had. So if I go from the edge of my window, I've got about 12 inches to where I'll be drilling through, which comes to right about here. I will clear this antenna just fine. So we're going to go back inside. We're going to drill our holes up through in between those 2 joists, and we'll start the install. Looking at the measurements, the spacing, what we've got going on. We do have electrical running through here for the light. That's what I'll tie off of because it's a constant 12 volt source. And so I'll just plug the fan into that constant 12 volts. We're going to have to place this flange basically right against our curtain here for the door and get our clearances. I took a measuring tape inside this hole already just to make sure that I had the right measurements for those. What I'm going to do is I'm going to mark where I want my 4 holes at, and then you get a nice long drill bit, just a small drill bit that you're going to punch all the way through. So we're going to go through both layers of roof. We're going to go through this first layer up through the layer on top. Inches back for that. Should clear. Alright, we've got daylight. We're in a good position up top. I'm one of those measure like 5 times and cut once type of people. So I'm now going to draw my cut lines. We've got a good square going on here. Get my glasses so I'm not wearing my safety squints. We're going to cut on the outside edge of this box. So think about where this box lies as far as its width and depth. We want to go just a little bit oversized on our cut. Alright, first hole done. Now that we've got our hole cut in the ceiling, we reveal our electrical. We've got some 120 volt wiring and we've got some 12 volt wiring that's exposed. One of the 120 volts I was able to move. This 120 I'm going to have to splice a length into. Your own risk when it comes to wiring. When it comes to 120 and the 12 volt stuff, 12 volts easy enough to deal with. 120 stuff for shore power, just make sure you're smart about it. Use the proper equipment. Obviously don't work on it when it's live, but that's 100% on you. When it comes to the 12 volt stuff, since it is a constant power light, I will be killing the primary power from my batteries as well as my kill switch, so that I'm not worried about shorting these out while I'm working on them. I will have to take these 2 wires right here, lengthen them so that they can be moved out of the way, and I'll have to do something with this 120. There is some insulation between the ceiling. It's garbage, like everything else on an RV a lot of times, is the cheapest material they can find so that they can gouge you for the most amount of money. This one was cracked when they installed it, so you know it's doing its job well. But I'm going to cut out the insulation once I've got the wiring situated, and then we'll be good to run. When you're doing this, you want to at least try to use the same gauge of wire that was previously there. That way your amperages and stuff don't overheat, melt wires on you as that fan's running. Go this direction. Alright, our power line is fed. Now I just need to splice in to one of these 12 volt constants, and I will be ready to roll. Picture or video? Video? Alright, we're good. Now that we're up top, we've got our 4 holes. What we're going to do is we're going to cut the vinyl with a cross, like an X shape. We'll peel it back. That way it gives us access to cut our holes. I'm going to have my son help me with this part.
Fits.
We're in. So before we screw this down onto the roof, I've got this flange that I was test fitting. I've marked my line where I'm going to cut. I'm going to test fit it again. Make sure that this fits into the roof vent. So if I have to make any more adjustments to that hole, I can do it before gluing and screwing.
We gonna glue it in?
Huh? Not quite yet. We're going to do a clean. And then we've got to get our depth. Clean up the vinyl around it. I've got a premium butyl here. We're going to do the full perimeter after we cleaned it. Do the full perimeter in this butyl. flange.
Why did you add a fan?
Because I really wanted a fan. Just gonna add our trim nails and we'll be done. Trim nails, trim screws. There she is. There's the fan. Trimmed out, working. Good luck, everybody. Hope it works out for you when you get to it. Have a great day.